Our very first trip will be Denver!
Yeah.
And actually, in the house today, we have two of the guys you're going to be hanging out with. They can come down and just give a little.
If you guys would welcome Matthew Culver, who leads the Hills Church down in Denver, and Dan. And you also want to meet Dan Gibson, who we are serving their Chi Alpha, who just planted a Chi Alpha at Denver University.
I was just telling Matthew, if I knew I was doing this with him, we could have come up with a bit or something. But
a skit.
Yeah, it would have been fun. I'm gonna age before beauty. That doesn't apply here. I think we all know that. So I'll go first.
That's not good. I think they're coming to the Hills first
Yes.
part of the week, and then the second half of the week.
Okay, so you can go first.
So we've come from the far, far away land of Denver, and I have dressed in the native garb of my peoples. That's what we wear. I've learned the language of the people, so I use accidentally words like mid and I don't know. Sus. My 7-year-old daughter often says I'm very sus. Yeah. My boys would be embarrassed I'm using such words because they're always about that riz. No cap. So I have fully embraced the culture in Denver, but we would love for you to come to Denver. So we'll be with our church for a few days, and then with Chi Alpha at the U for a few days. And I love Chi Alpha. We've had several teams from UNC come. If you have come on a missions trip to Denver with the Hills Church, raise your hand. I saw a few folks. That's what I'm talking about. That's right. And the fact, and for me to just say I love Chi Alpha, you always see it. I mean, love it. It's a verb. It's an action. And so I brought. Hold on. Some swag. Yeah. Don't cheer yet, because you might be like this. So you could always use a good tote bag. Right, and in Denver, you can't even, at the grocery store, can't have the plastic bag. So this is a nice tote for toting. I have one for everybody, whether you come on the trip or not. It is not bribery, maybe just incentive. But if we would love for you to come to Denver, that the days that you would be with the Hills Church, we believe that our neighborhood should flourish because our church is there, and so we serve our neighbors, we serve the schools, we serve the businesses in our neighborhood. In the evenings, we'll worship together, we'll talk about life after Chi Alpha. We really want it to be a transformational trip for you. And we have always just been so blessed by the Chi Alpha teams that have come to Denver. I'll just tell you one quick story, and then I'm going to tag team. That's what we should have done. Tag team, no. What was I even saying? One story. So a few years ago, we've been having mission teams from Chi Alpha come for a number of years. We started our church 6 years ago, and one of the things that we do, it's very simple. We make fresh cookies. We put them in a bag. We write a note on it. We take it into the local businesses, and we just try to bring some joy in the name of Jesus. And it was a veterinarian's office. There was a young lady who was there, who was working, who had grown up in church. Her faith had grown cold. She had some bad experiences with the church, as many people have. And so she wasn't walking with Jesus, but she got one of those bags. She started coming and hanging out. This is before we even started meeting. We were just in a larger space. We were meeting in our house. And her boyfriend was an agnostic, and an angry agnostic, was by his own terms. And I remember the first time that he came and to our house. It was for a Super Bowl party, and he just kind of stood in the back like this, just looking around, trying to figure out what we were all about. Well, he eventually started coming to church just because he loved her, not because he believed in Jesus or what we were doing. And for months, he came and just sat there. He would stand when we were standing and sit when we were, but would just no expression. And then one Sunday, like if someone wanted to follow Jesus or wanted to get baptized, we had a baptism service coming up. And I got a card after service, and he had marked that he wanted to get baptized. Now, I didn't even know that he had put his faith in Jesus. She didn't know, and when I said something to the two of them, because I was doing some premarital counseling with them, I was like, I saw you wanted to get baptized. Like, she turned and looked at him, and he went from being an angry agnostic to just a regular agnostic to a follower of Jesus. I did their wedding, and it all started with a Chi Alpha mission trip, going and taking some cookies. A simple gesture of love, and now he is a Jesus follower. So we would love for you to come to Denver, spend a few days with us.
Yeah. And then when you guys are tired hanging out with Matthew, you guys can come serve us at the University of Denver. And what's awesome, so that group right there, that was SALT last year. We stepped onto campus, didn't know a soul, nobody. And we ended up taking 22 students to SALT, which is awesome.
First year? First
year. After 1 quarter. That's 1 quarter.
That's some work.
And not me, Jesus totally.
Work.
Yeah. And but you know, beginning stages of pioneering, you're trying to build culture. You're trying to we're not just trying to get people in the door, but when people come into the door, what are they walking into? And that's really what we're trying to build. Is we're trying to build a community that love Jesus and they love each other. And so a really big win for us when we host teams, Chi Alpha teams that come from healthy culture, our students gets to see how you guys love one another and you guys love Jesus and how you guys are pursuing the lost, fighting for your friends, and you're sharing stories from what you've experienced here at UNC. And our students, they get a vision of that. And man, I want to be a part of something like that. And so you guys will have an opportunity to share about your lives here at UNC, but also we'll be doing some prayer walking on campus, and you guys get to come to small groups. We'll do some evangelism on campus, maybe some spiritual readings tents. We'll see. It's never been done before at DU. We might get kicked off campus, but we might go for it anyway. So we'll see. We'll see. But we just love for you guys to come and fight for your peers. Fight for your generation at the University of Denver. Right now, there's really 2.5 ministries at DU. Most of the people, 14,000 students, they're not walking with Jesus. They don't want anything to do with him. And so we would love for you guys to come and fight alongside of us as we're fighting for the lost lambs of God at DU. So join us, join Matthew. We'll have a ton of fun, and we'll love to have you come. And actually have one of my small group guys here tonight, Jackson. He's the tall guy in the back, so that's him. But yeah, thank you for having us. And I feel like this bit, was getting off the rails a little bit because I feel like Tyler just set a culture up here, So the freedom, I felt the freedom that Tyler's expressing. So thank you.
Wow, thank you guys. Thank you.
Awesome.
Now, I want to give a quick testament, too, for a Denver trip, because I know that, I myself included, when I was in college, it doesn't look like a quote-unquote, sexy trip, right? You're not going to any place warm. You're not going to, overseas, something that looks, really, really, bougie. But I can just tell you, I went on the Denver trip last year, and I can just tell you how it transformed me. I was leading the trip, and I wasn't expecting much. And, literally just going an hour down Highway 25, my heart was radically changed. So.
Yeah, it's a great trip, guys. Definitely. And being led by our intern, ON. Yeah. Guys, just a week hanging out with Owen, that should be incentive enough to go.
Yeah, let's go.